Hi, it is 2:08 p.m. on the afternoon of Thursday, October 12th, 2017. I'm looking at an area here which I think is the last remaining pieces of CARL SPITZ'S Hollywood Dog Training School, from which TOTO, real name Terry, the dog was trained at in the 1930s. There's the Ventura 101 Freeway that came in 1958, and for some reason this area here, at one point into there, had to do with dog training area. And if you look at it, it looks as though the area would be like that. Looks like something took place here that they never built on. Because if they would have built on this area, there would be remnants of some kind of structures that were here. So I say that this was a field. This was a field that was here, part of the big field that went all around there, acres and acres, which this took out, 1958, this Ventura Freeway. And it went over the area where TOTO is probably buried in there. Her real name is Terry. But this is, I think, is the remaining area of what CARL SPITZ had as his Hollywood Dog Training Center. This would be the equivalent of 12350 Riverside Drive. And over here is obviously something was here that was a building. But there's no remnants of it over here. It looks like there was some sort of a building back here. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Like I say, that Ventura Highway in 1958 took out the area under there from which this was a, look, there's a mailbox. This was a training area for the dogs. I don't know if I've got it right, but I could have sworn this would have been a housing area from which I would say CARL SPITZ had his Hollywood Dog Training Center. This might have been the stairs that led up to his house. And right here on BLIX Street. It opened up on 12350 across the way on the other side, Riverside Drive. Over there is the Ventura Freeway. That took out this whole area, and he had acres of this that went from here probably to over there and be underneath that thing. Somewhere in there is Terry, buried under there somewhere. And I often say to myself, I wonder what happened to the history of this area. How come nobody ever delved into it? Is Terry, the TOTO, buried right under here? That's where they said that the highway went under. It went under an area from which the highway was buried. Buried this area. Down there somewhere. And over here, if you go over the other side, is 12350 Riverside Drive here in Studio City. That's the second place he had. He had another place, CARL SPITZ, called 12239, that way, Ventura Boulevard. He moved here in 1935. He had been at the other place since 1927, training dogs. But this very well could have been the grounds that little TOTO and other dogs learned how to be movie stars, actors, you know? So once again, where that highway came in 1958, and then it was dug up again in 1993, and Willard Carroll, who was here in 93, July 27th, actually found a little tin box in that area under there somewhere. When they expanded the already 101 Freeway Ventura, when they expanded, he found a little box filled with memos of TOTO. So TOTO was buried here. But are these the grounds that she ran on? Are these the grounds? And only to be buried back there when she died on September 1st of 1945 by CARL SPITZ and his wife, who had the dog training school. She was born November 17th, 1933 in ALTADENA, California.